Alright, good evening everyone. Hello and welcome. Let's just get the stream streaming in all the right ways before we get right into it. And hope upon hope that everything's working as intended. But yes, happy Sunday evening. Or morning, or afternoon, or maybe very early on Monday, depending on where you are in the world. But we're here tonight. It is time for a little bit of the GDMC, the Generative Design in Minecraft competition. We're going to be playing through a couple of games. Well, we're going to be playing through a lot of Minecraft, rather. And we're going to be spending a lot of time having a look at some procedurally generated settlements, which is kind of exciting. But we'll get there momentarily. I'm just making sure that everything's all up and running and people are here. Also just enjoying the tunes a little bit in the background. Shout out to Ben, my buddy Ben Ridge, who has recently been doing a whole bunch of new stuff for the channel. If you've been watching recently, you'll have noticed we have new credit music that plays at the end of every video. And now we also have some other incidental music that plays in places. But anyway, let me just get a few things up and running where I need them, because I want to be able to communicate a whole bunch of stuff about what we're doing tonight. Give you a bit of a preamble. And also make sure all my instructions are up for what I'm about to do. And alright. Awesome. I have to admit, I actually really enjoy Ben's music now. I've been really into it ever since we started adding it to the channel. I was going for like big cheesy vibes. I wanted like cheesy, like synth metal. Basically, I just told him go and watch the 1986 Transformers movie, and he didn't. But we had a conversation about this not that long ago. I'm now going to have to get him to sit and watch the 1986 Transformers movie, because I was like, I just want that Vince DiCola Stan Bush vibe going, like not too hardcore that it turns people off, but at the same time so cheesy you can't take it seriously. Anywho. Right. So let's get into this a little bit. What are we actually doing tonight? What is the whole point of this live stream? And also, hello to all of you who are tuning in now. What is going on? What is this all about? So yeah, tonight we're going to do... Well, typically that didn't work. Let me fix that. Grr. You'd think I was a professional at this point and I know what I'm doing, but evidently not. There we go. That's better, except that's pointing at the wrong thing. That's better. Okay. Where was I? Right. So today, good lord. Why has that done that? I was totally not expecting that. Good lord. Right, hang on, we'll fix this. But yes, in short, before I get into unveiling it all, we're going to be doing the generative design in Minecraft competition. And what that means is we're looking at procedurally generated Minecraft villages, settlements, and that's going to be quite fun. Hello to Xeon0x and Niels. Hello Niels, good to see you. Funnily enough, Niels is actually a former contestant. I don't know if you competed this year, did you? But I know you've competed in previous years in this very competition. Transform. There we go. Oi! Fixed. Right. And we'll come out of that. And then we'll come back over. Here we go. Finally, as intended. As regards my Iron Brew shirt, we're going to come back to that, because it's more than meets the eye here. So the generative design in Minecraft competition. This is Also, so it's actually the competition itself is the 2023 AI Settlement Generation Challenge. And so what this is really about is that people will submit a algorithm that is able to procedurally generate settlements, like entire villages that run in Minecraft. And the idea is that you are being assessed against a set of criteria as to how... there's actually a number of criteria, we'll come into this in a little bit, but there's a set of criteria all about the quality of what you've made and whether or not what you've made is like functional and aesthetically pleasing and things like that. And so the competition has now been running, I believe this is the 5th or 6th iteration. Excuse me. Oh, there we go, actually. 4, 5, 6. This is the 6th iteration. And this is all the... Actually, these are all the entrants, which I'm not going to look at, although I've now just noticed Niels, who's in the chat, has actually submitted this year, because I'm supposed to do this blind. But it's been around since 2018, where there was a mere 4 submitted, but then every year they've had more and more people participate, and in fact they had a boom year in 2021, which was kind of awesome. And so it's all about just seeing if you can figure out how to procedurally generate a Minecraft village based on the terrain that you have and the materials that are available to you and all this sort of stuff. And I've been a judge of the GDMC for a few years now. Not every year. I've actually abstained maybe the last year or 2. I'm trying to remember. I definitely didn't do it last year. Maybe I can't remember if I did it the year before or not, but a big reason for that was just workload. I was very busy and I just didn't have the time to do it. So, but I've been kind of keeping an eye on what's happening at the GDMC for many years. A big reason for that is that if we go and have a look at a lot of the organisers, notably Julian Tegeles in the bottom right, and Christoph Salga are 2 friends of mine who I know fairly well. In fact, Christoph and I actually only saw each other a couple of months ago. Julian, if anybody who saw the recent AI Summer School vlog over here, right here on AI and Games Plus, you'll hear that I mentioned, and you see Julian in that video as well. Meanwhile, also a shout out to Michael Green, Christian Gugelsberger, and Rodrigo Canan as well, who I've had the pleasure of meeting and interacting with over the years. All lovely people. Rodrigo was actually on my very short-lived pandemic streaming series, NPC, as well, and we were talking about building AI for... Oh, it's that card game. Oh, it's going to bug me now. But yes, we ended up talking about their research for a little bit as well. So yeah, the GDMC's been around for a little while, and in fact, if you scroll all the way down through the AI and Games playlist, and we go down a little bit further... I know it's here somewhere. I've missed it. Where is it? There we go. Minecraft Villages Built by AI, the Generative Design in Minecraft Competition. Episode 46 of AI and Games, if I remember right. Yeah, let's have a quick look. So, yeah, I made this video 3 years ago. And, oh god. I just heard myself. I have to mute myself now, very briefly. But yeah, so I made a video all about the GDMC way back in 2018, I believe. Is that right? I'll say it here. 2019, September of 2019. There we go. So, and it's just kind of me highlighting what this competition's all about. Why do people participate in it and everything else? So if you're watching this and you're like, I have no real clue what any of this is about, go back and watch that video. It's actually done pretty well over the years. It's had almost 63,500 views. That's pretty awesome. But I actually made this video while judging the GDMC many moons ago. In 2019, funnily enough, when I did the 2019 judging, I made a video about it to kind of help highlight it and just kind of communicate that this is an interesting body of research that's happening. And also a shout out to my brother Darren, because all the footage that we've got here that isn't the generated settlements is actually me playing it with my brother, because he's a big Minecraft fan. So there we go. So tonight, what the point of it was, is that I'm just going to actually play a bit of it. And oh god, there we go. Oh, this was, I was going to say Christian wasn't part of the original team if I didn't recall correctly, but there you go, there's Michael. Also, none of you have updated your photographs on the website, lads. I mean, come on, let's go. But yeah, what's that saying right there? The goal for the GDMC is to produce an artificial intelligence program AI that can produce a functional, aesthetic, and believable settlement within a Minecraft map. There we go, holistic procedural generation. All right, and with that, I've got a whole bunch of maps that I need to go and assess. And I have a set of instructions on what I'm supposed to do about it as well. Now, I'm trying to remember where I put everything. Where is my spreadsheet, damn it? It's over here. There we go. So, the criteria that I'm assessing this on falls under a certain caveats. And we do actually talk about this in the video. It's largely retained the same thing as it was. So we're going to look at the adaptability of a generated settlement. So do the structures in the settlement adapt to the terrain? Do the structures in the environment reflect the environment, as it were? You know, functionality. Does the settlement appear like it would keep mobs out or protect from environmental dangers? Is it accessible to the player avatar in a survival mode without having to smash a wall or like fly into it or whatever else? There's also an element of narrative. Like, is the settlement evoking an interesting story? Could you give a short description of what that settlement is about that sets it apart from other settlements based on what it is? And like, is it obvious to you what the function of the settlement is? And then lastly, just the aesthetics of it. Does it look cool? That's kind of a big part of what we're doing tonight. So I'm actually going to judge these as I'm going, but I'm not going to tell you my scores as I do it, because I feel like that is inappropriate. So and I score each of these between 0 and 10. There's also a separate mode for what is called the chronicle judging, and that's for a separate competition element where it's actually based on the idea that there's the chronicle generation. So it's like a whole other competition that runs within the GDMC that's all about trying to tell stories. But there was no submissions for that this year, I don't believe. So we're going to get into this in a little bit. Let's see. Heya to, I can't tell who that username is, but then Xeon actually says, I feel I must thank you. It's thanks to you that I decided to take part, if I remember correctly. Well, that's awesome. I hope you had a good time participating in it as well. So I'm excited to kind of get back into this and have a little look. So anyway, let's stop watching the YouTube video. And I've got my instructions right here, because what they've made a few changes to the generation, to the entire process this year. So let me actually focus on getting Minecraft itself up and running, and then we'll take it from there. Why? What does it mean, waiting on install? There we go. I think it's because I took it out of focus. It was just like, brr. That was confusing for a minute. All right, and then slowly getting there. Oh, there we go. Let me boot it up. All right, I think this is happening. Here we go. Oh, one or two little settings I need to configure, but we're by and large there. Right, let's just transition straight over to it. Excellent. So, a couple of quick things I need to fix on my end. Video settings, because that ain't full screen, buddy. Oh, actually, I think there's a way to fix this. I like how I set all this up this morning, and now it's no longer. There we go, that's what I wanted. Now I can see it all quite clearly. Okay, so here we go. I'm in Minecraft now. Let's kill that and put the audio on from Minecraft itself. So I'm in Minecraft, and the way that it's been explained to me this year was that having a look at the instructions. So previously, you would get multiple maps for each of the individual submissions to the GDMC. This year, they made it a little different. What they're doing now is everything is in the one. So they've made it that it's one big map, and all the maps are now generated in the same map. So what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to teleport around the map and find the generated areas and then make comment on it. And they give me a set of coordinates to teleport to. So I think first of all, let me just double check. Actually, I need to get to the main. So let me get to right. I'm going to start trying to remember all these as I go. So it's teleport to 450.15.158.626. So what this does is they say here that this is a large 1000 by 1000 map with an existing settlement based on last year's winner as part of the hybrid challenge. And so this is the idea that there's an existing structure and then they have to generate around that existing structure, I believe. You'll be teleported to the top of the observation balloon of the existing settlement. So there we go. Nice big balloon. So I'm not entirely sure at this point whether or not the rest of this settlement here is going to be unique or not. Every time I generate in, although there's an interesting tower. I'm wondering if the tower was pre-built and already there. Ooh, get that warm fire crackle. Alrighty. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Also, those bees are huge. Yeah, I thought it was like some sort of weird glitch or something. Like, alright, I can see those bees from very high. Like, no. Those bees are massive. Actually reminds me a lot of my own garden. We've had a lot of bees in our garden this summer, which has been very exciting. Nice chill vibes for a Sunday evening. Let me just turn that down a little bit. So we've got multiple teleportation points to go to. I think it might actually be worth, just for me, in the sake of accuracy, I'm actually going to take a moment just so that I know. Because I deliberately went into this blind. I didn't want to know going into it what I was going to look at. So that was the one I was just in. Let me just go to number 2 here. And see whether or not... Okay. That's a road, man. That's a straight up road. That's very cool. So hang on, if I go to the teleportation location, 450.158. Is this going to be the same or different? Oh, it is very different. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so that there, just the kind of the church and the observation balloon are the only two things that are unique. Oh, and the ship. Oh, no, that village is there as well. Nope, talking rubbish. And then it builds off of that as well. So, as you can see, particularly this particular generator is building houses on top of that existing tower structure, which is probably not what they intended. But I guess this is part of the challenge, is if you've got these existing structures, does it recognize, for example, it's like, oh, hey, am I supposed to be allowed to build on this based on the space that surrounds it? So, okay. This has helped me a lot now. I was trying to figure out what, if anything, in this opening area was unique or specific to that area. I like that the roads are here for this. This is pretty neat. So I think we'll maybe come back to the original map in a minute. Let me just quickly get the chat back up so I can see y'all while I'm doing this. Okay, this is quite interesting. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? To make my life a lot easier. Bear with me 2 seconds. Just stare at that. Ha ha! I'm a smart monkey. All right. Got the laptop out. So I can do all my note-taking on the laptop. And it also means I can quickly look at the coordinates that I need on the laptop. And I don't have to worry about, let's see, copy of instructions. That's what I need. And then I'm going to quickly download the score sheet again. Because originally I put it on another computer, on this computer, but I'm going to put it onto my laptop. That'll make my life easier. All right, let's get right up. Let's nope, whoops. Let's fly up and have a look at all this from a distance. Very interesting. Okay, so go away. Gonna open up my score sheet here. And I've also got all of my instructions. And then, perfect. Now I've got everything on my laptop right next to me. Great. It's almost a professional outfit. Are you enjoying Excel? No, not when you ask me. Right. I feel like I'm not getting the music vibes anymore of Minecraft. Make sure I'm getting the music vibes. Okay. So I quite like this one in particular. Seems to have a handful of like templates for buildings. Like you look at all these houses, they kind of adhere to, there seems like there's a handful of templates they've got. And then this one has sparkles. Is that an entryway? No, it isn't. Oh, that's the door. Oh, hello. What's in here? Cool. So that looks like it's been placed down, but then the terrain has caught on it a little bit. Let's see if we can find another one that's maybe landed a little bit better on terra firma. Okay. So we've got like a house template, and that's able to spawn in a particular location. And we've got different types of house templates. Now, I guess, I mean, for me, one of the interesting questions looking at this is how much of what comes first? Do the houses come or do the roads come? My suspicion is the houses are built and then, on one hand, I'm thinking the houses are built and then the roads are built, because that would allow for, that's why you maybe have like roads out on islands. But then on the other hand, you'll notice that there's always a nice bit of space that would allow for the roads to be drawn. And look at that. Like on one hand, like I think that is really aesthetically pleasing. I think that's very nice to look at. Just this whole thing of like the houses that are going up this part of the hill, and then being able to see then that the roads have been built around it. And so it's functional as well. Like clearly for this generator, adaptability, working around the terrain has been a challenge for it. But I do think it's interesting to see how functional it is, in the sense that it's actually a town with a road network and housing surrounding it and what have you. I'm not driving my car on that. Looks like it might be a bit of a challenge for my poor little vehicle. But yeah, it's very interesting to see. Let me just make sure. Why am I not getting music? I want more music, man. Play my music. Do it! Hello, cow. Okay, right, so I think this has been really cool to look at. And also, it's stretched really far, too. Like, that's really interesting. We went far beyond the original spawn point. In fact, where is the original spawn point? I think it was back over this way somewhere. But yeah, look at that. That's pretty crazy. It's a huge amount of settlement. Huge amount of settlement. So let's do some teleporting. So that was the original large map that it spawns in on, and then they told me if I teleport to minus 12,700, 200, 5,000, I should come into a swamp area. So as this was described, a swamp map with many trees and a central lake. And so there we go. We're getting the, again, it's doing this job of, so on the chat here, is this actually the creator of this particular generator that has commented here? But if I remember correctly, the roads were determined first. And then the houses are being put in. There is something, you know, in terms of like urban planning, there is definitely a part of this that is stretching, that is tackling my brain, that if I'm finding it quite aesthetically pleasing just seeing, oh, what's the time set 0. There we go. Now I can actually see it during the day, because sometimes you want to see them in the evening, but you can also get to see it in the day. Alrighty. But good to see that the roads, for example, are being built around the lake. So the adaptability of the road system is kind of neat in the sense that it's going around the lake, and then it's also building some sort of sense of topology or topography. Like, again, there's just something about it that I find quite fun to look at, particularly from a distance, because you can see like, oh, hey, that's like a road where possibly people would you know, park their cars or what have you here. You know, it's a driveway, that sort of thing, which I do find quite neat. I think that's particularly in the eye of the beholder. Drawn, I think, interestingly, like looking at the roads as a set of individual block types that with variation in height, it seems to work quite well in some instances. Like if you look at this bit here, this looks great, I think, coming along here, and then every now and then it has a bit of a headache, I think, dealing with some type of terrain that it deals with, but it seems when it works some of the time it looks really good. And I think critically, you know, as I've said already, like if you zoom out and look at it from above, it looks really neat, I think. Okay, very cool. Let's go to the next set of coordinates. That was TP minus 12,700, 200, 200. And that is a high mountain range with very steep slopes and a little buildable area. A new biome type since the last version we used. Okay. Oh, that looks great. I think that looks really nice. Got a kind of European town vibe going on to it in some ways. I think interestingly, just again, it's like, I think the adaptability of knowing where to place buildings on elevation, I think, is proving to be the challenge for this particular generator. But no, I really like that. Like, I think particularly again, if you look at it from high up, I think this just looks really nice. Again, very aesthetically pleasing. There's something about this generator which is just like tickling a certain part of my brain. I'm like, oh, this looks really cute. And it's also only operated in that area. Also, I've noticed it tends to create complete, at least, it's almost there. It's almost like one full cycle of the road. Look at that. There's almost a giant cycle of the road there. Oh, there's one here. That's cool. Well, how far did it go? No, okay. It stayed largely contained within this area. It didn't go too far away, which is interesting. And it doesn't go into that biome over there. Okay, cool. I'm getting my bearings a little bit better. So let's go to the next one, which is a high mountain ridge with very steep slope. Oh, no, this isn't it. A small island with lots of water and little buildable area. Oh, I remember this map from previous years. So that'll be 5,300, 200, 2,400. Nope, that is not the biome that I thought it was. I've got my numbers mixed up. Although this isn't the one that I went to a minute ago. But this is also very cool. Very snowy. Why am my music not playing? Is there some way I could just tell it to play music? But anyway, we'll fix that in a minute. Oh, there's a billy goat just kicking back on the middle of the road, which is probably going to, you know, create problems down the line. I think it's this. This is the... There we go. This is it. It's a small island with a limited amount of space for building on. There we go. And so critically, it only builds on the road, or it builds on the island as well. Like that was also... So it seems like this generator's pretty good at keeping on the land. It's just whether it keeps to the elevation or respects the elevation of that particular area that it's working in, which I admit is I've had students in a previous life, back when I was still teaching, I used to have students do some of this, and like some of the just capturing the nuances of this is really, really hard sometimes. But yeah, again, that looks really cute, I think. Like, oh, now the music's playing, thank you. I've been waiting forever for the music to kick in. Matter of fact, oh god, it's paused now as soon as I do that. I wanted to boost the gain on it, so maybe you'll be able to still hear it on your end, because I keep it quite low in the output of the stream, but there we go. I want some chill vibes for when I'm doing this, you know? Oh, it's raining. There we go. Now I really feel like I'm at home. But yeah, look at that. I think that looks great. Very impressive. And it is. I think it's particularly around the aesthetic element of it. It's one of those things that you can see things don't quite line up right. But see if you just zoom up, well, at 10 feet, 20 feet. Something quite picturesque about that. I quite like that. But I quite applaud the creator for going for the road thing, because doing the roads is difficult. And also making them look like actual roads, I think, as well, is kind of neat. Well. Alrighty. Let me make some notes. You can't see my score making here, which is good. Make a little note so I remember when I go back and look at these notes again, like which particular settlement generator was I looking at. But very cool. Let's take a brief moment to have a refresher. And yeah. So yes, drinking some Iron Brew, but critically it looks like I'm wearing an Iron Brew t-shirt, but I'm not. I'm actually, if we just move the microphone out of the way, it's actually, it says, as you'll note, IRNMDN, which is short for Iron Maiden. You think, hang on a minute, Iron Maiden's not a soft drink. No, it's the metal band. So, I really like Iron Maiden, the heavy metal band. And I was in Scotland just a few weeks ago to go and see Iron Maiden, because they played in Scotland. I could have went to see them. As some of you know, I live in the southeast of England. I live pretty close to London. And so it was like, oh, well, I could went to see them in London, but why would I do that? Because I've seen them in London. It's fine. I'd rather go and see them back in Glasgow, in Scotland, because you get a good crowd. So I went back to Scotland and I went to see them there. So this is the story of this t-shirt. We'll get in there, don't worry. And that t-shirt was originally, when you went to the SSE Hydro, which is the venue in Glasgow that Iron Maiden played in, the staff who were serving refreshments in the bar areas or whatever were wearing this t-shirt. So it says Iron Brew in the front, in the style, Iron Maiden rather, in the style of Iron Brew. But also on the back, it says Made in Scotland, because I don't know if they have it on the cans still, but also, like, one of the things that Iron Brew likes to often advocate is, you know, it is made in Scotland, it is a Scottish beverage. But on the back, it's spelt Maiden as in Iron Maiden. So it's not made in Scotland, it's M-A-I-D-E-N, Scotland. Made in Scotland, which is also a running joke that Iron Maiden do a lot, where they'll say, there's actually a famous live album called Made in Japan, because it was filmed in Japan. Anyway, so these t-shirts were there, and I was like, oh my god, these are two of my favourite things in the world. Because, disclaimer, Iron Maiden's one of my favourite bands. I love Iron Maiden. I went to see them, I think, 13 or 14 times. I love that band. So I'm like, these are two of my favourite things in the world. It's Iron Maiden and Iron Brew, and the one thing, I must have it. So I go over, and I buy an Iron Brew, because when in Rome, but also I'm talking to them, and I'm like, yo, you guys, where'd you get the t-shirts? And they're like, oh, I don't think they're selling them. I'm like, no, I don't accept this. I must be able to have one of these t-shirts. So they're like, well, I don't think they do them. And I'm like, fucking. And so I go over to the t-shirt stall, because they're selling merch, and they've got all these t-shirts. Critically, they don't have this t-shirt. Sorry, Iron Maiden, but I really don't need another t-shirt with Eddie on it, who is the band's mascot, because I've already had loads of them in my life. I really wanted this t-shirt. So anyway, I then am away doing stuff, like a week later. I'm back down here in England, and I'm doing the AI Summer School, which I made a vlog about on this channel, or was it earlier this month, late last month I released that video? Can't remember. Anyway, I'm in the middle of hosting a panel at the summer school, and my phone rings. And so I don't answer my phone, because I think that'd be a bit rude, considering I'm in the middle of being the moderator for a panel. And it's my brother. And I checked later on that my brother had messaged me, and he says, oh, due to popular demand, they were doing a limited run of these t-shirts because so many people had reached out to both the venue and to Iron Maiden going, why didn't you sell these Iron Maiden Iron Brew t-shirts? And they're like, oh, well, we didn't think of that. Like, sell them. So they said, look, we're doing a limited run of them and they're going on sale at this point. And I messaged my brother like, oh my God, did you, because he was telling me about it. And I'm like, oh my God, did you check? And he's like, I already ordered you a t-shirt because you didn't answer the phone, because love you, buddy. But critically, like, they sold out in a day. Because everyone just went, oh, and everyone went out and bought one of these t-shirts. So this is the first time I've actually worn it. And I just thought, oh, what a better place, because everyone likes to acknowledge that I tend to drink Iron Brew when I'm on stream, but here I am wearing my Iron Maiden t-shirt. Because also, I don't think I really want to go outside with a very orange t-shirt on, because I'm very pale, so it's going to look really obvious. Anyhow, let's have a look at where I'm supposed to start next. So this is the 1000 by 1000 area, so we're going to go to the 12700. This is the swamp. Oh god. So hang on, is this first map just meant to be indicative? Is GDC 1 just meant to be indicative of what these areas look like? Because I don't think anything generates in them. Maybe I missed that description in the notes. No, it doesn't seem to say it. Also, critically, for anyone curious, that this is now running on the Java Minecraft 1.19.2. Although apparently there are a couple of maps in 1.19.3, but it should be fine. Anyway. Okay, let me just double check, because if this is just the case, that this is just like the vanilla map to start with, then we'll go on to another map. Oh no, that's literally the same place again. I keep misreading this document. It's doing my head in. Oh, there we go. So hang on, this thing is generating stuff. That's very cool though. Look at that. That's very awesome. Right, let's hang on. Let's go back. See if it generated something at that other coordinate. 12,700, 200, 5,000. Come on. Did I think I've maybe teleported to the wrong... Yep, I've definitely teleported to the wrong place. Oh, it's minus 12,700. 200, 5,000. There we go. Now the music's really kicking in after it wouldn't do it earlier. Let me know if that's getting too loud for you. That is actually quite loud. So I'm going to briefly turn that down. Good lord. I was like, oh, that's not too loud, is it? And then it's just like, ah, in my ear. Right, there we go. Twinkles. Okay, it doesn't appear to have generated anything. I wonder, based on that previous structure we just saw on the other map, whether it requires a certain amount of terra firma and fetid before it tries to generate. That's a moon. Also, apologies if you happen to hear traffic outside, because my window to this room is right next to where I sit, and I've had to keep the window open recently because it's been quite warm. Okay. Oh, no, that's just a random bit of lava. Let's time set 0. I want to get back to having a look at it all during the day right now. Okay, so it looks like it didn't do anything here. So let's move on to the 200, 200, which was where there was a structure here. All right, there we go. So this, I think it's maybe requiring flat land to do what it's doing. But that's a very cool concept. So it's like, it's got this kind of... Is that like a... Right, hang on, I need to find a way in. Let's find a way in. Is there any point of the structure that is accessible from land? Because I feel like that's an important adaptability question. So it looks like it's always kind of slightly off. That's fine. I have actually been in here, spoiler alert, because when I was testing earlier, I did come through here, which is why the doors are open. Anyway, like a little desk, and then it's like a library of sorts almost. It's giving me this kind of like wizard's monastery, or it's like a monastery or like a kind of wizard's, not school, you know, those are kind of ruined in 2023. But like base of operations, like a temple, or maybe it. Oh, hello, what's in here? Lots of papers. That's where he keeps all his papers. The little staircases are neat. I like that a lot. I'm trying to also just respect the space. Oh, there we go. That's cool. And the windows coming. I'm getting Dagstuhl vibes, which is a very weirdly specific thing. But, yeah. This is like a kitchen area by the look of it. Yeah, there's like seating area, and then there's a kitchen space where people can go and cook. Yep, I can cook stuff. And then what's over here? Let's have a look. Ah! Chickens, which I will cook. Oh, more crafting areas. I've now got a plant. Oh no, I've destroyed the house. I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry. What's in here? Oh wow, look at that. That's... Oh, it's like a greenhouse. They're like actually cultivating their own crops. Very cool. What else is there if I go further along? And then that's the end of the structure. Hoi! Ooh, I never did go up the stairs on that side, did I? Let's see if I can get in. I don't want to damage the structure. Let's just go in like responsible adults. There we go. Stairs! Oh no, there we go. Do. You know what? I knew something was bugging me. You know that way when your brain's like, something's not quite right and I can't figure out what it is. Mouse wasn't inverted. Yes, I'm a filthy mouse inverter. Oh, is that a door? There we go. Oh, okay. Watchtower bit at the top. And then there was kind of a... let me in. There we go. Oh, it's kind of a little seating area. That's very cute. I like that a lot. A cartography table. Ah. So they're actually like planning out the routes and the maps of the area from the top of this structure. That's very cool. No, I quite like this. The whole thing is quite striking to look at. Yeah, look at that. Like a spyglass, a compass, empty maps. So clearly they would sit up here and make notes on the surrounding area. Ah, it's very cool. Again, it's like it's telling a story, which I quite like with a lot of these generators when they're able to just put those little bits of lore almost into what the generator's trying to do. That's kind of neat. I wonder, is there anything Let's have a look over here. Because I was told to keep an eye out for underground. And see if anything is built underground. But I'm not seeing anything here. Alright. Coordinates. 5300, 200, 2400. Ah! Come on. So I think this generator's really looking for space that's flat that it can start from. And so I'm wondering whether or not it's struggling to find a starting point. Because clearly once it's got a bit of space, it's all good. That's probably too far away from the starting point for it to find it or build on it. It's also not flat enough. Okay. Moving on. Oh no, I've done that one. 1500, 200. Oh no. I feel like this poor generator's having a hard time of it. Also, the game just decided to stop playing music again. Wonder if I can get it. Oh, you have to do it as a mod. Never mind that. Okay, I'm going to make some notes quickly on this particular gen that we just looked, this output that we just looked at. Right. Okie dokie. Let's see, what time is it? 10 to 6. I've only still got like another 8 of these to do or something like that. Whoops. You know what? Let's just I'm gonna quickly make a change back here. Bear with me a second while I'm moving a few things around. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Add a bit more music. I'm just going to create my own little background music thing for the time being. There we go. And then we'll play the music. There we go. Got our own music playlist on the go now. It's all just AI and games related music now. Right, let me load up the next map. Nope. So I've got 11 of these. And I've looked at the first 2. Whether I get all these done tonight, I don't know. Part of this is I do actually have a partner to collect from traveling soon enough. But oh wow, this is quite striking. Let me just immediately put you over to this. Oops, I've got the studio mode on, which I didn't mean to do. But yeah, let's just immediately go over to this. Check this out. That's a quite a striking view. So that's the original settlement, with the viewing balloon, as it were. And then there's other stuff over here. And particularly just the way that the sun was hitting it, and then it's all lit up because there's candles. Which is kind of interesting to see. Oh, wow. And there's like a church here. And then that looks like a smithy of some sort. Yep. I mean, that's quite visually striking, that. Quarry, I'm assuming this is meant to be of some kind. Oh, yep, there we go. Stairs that go up. Awesome. Excuse me. Respawn point set, thank you very much. So yeah, just in that base area, there was already kind of really interesting stuff going on. Let me quickly make an adjustment. Very cool. And so these are houses by the look of it that also have a chimney, and the houses are really nice, and they also have a very particular kind of aesthetic and style to them. Oh, shutters. Very, very cool. And then he's got a book, which is all good. And then full kitchen area, bedroom. Oh, and there's the windows. That's very neat. Don't know what that turns on, but... And then we got a rooftop. The viewing area. Oh, right, there's actually a little stairwell there. Oh, that's very neat. I'm assuming that these are kind of carbon copies of each other, by and large. Yeah, pretty much. But I do like that. Like, that's kind of a different style to, you know, how the houses are previously built. Sorry, I just smashed your shutters. Alright, and the churches are quite distinct as well. Big vibes. Cool, very neat. So, and then can I get up there? Can get up there. Oh, there we go. Coolio. So it's able to build around, oh, there's the path. So it's been able to build around the existing structure to some degree. It's built away from it, and then it's built away from it and kind of, but there's paths to everywhere it needs to go. It's not as connected. So it's not like what's happening here is reflective or paying attention even to the topography of the existing structures that were built or anything like that. I don't think this is aware of them in that context. But it's got a bunch of templates that it's building from, you know, that you can tell these houses are variations on a theme. But even then, these houses are different. And I think that's because we're no longer close to the water or close to sand or what have you. So it's using different templates for different locations. That looks cozy. And then, is that... No, I thought that was a ladder. It isn't. Okay. Wait. So yeah, you can see it's more of the same. Oh, that's different. I've not seen one of these before. Is that like a smith? Or it's like a refinery of some sort. Nyam. How far did it build? Just keeps going. What the heck? This is like a logistics warehouse for like shipping and trucks. Oh, I think it's meant to be a lumber yard. It is, it's a lumber yard. Oh, that's cute. Got wood. But it's like, how far is this thing generating? I thought maybe we would have hit the limit by now, because the town was all the way over there. I think this is finally it. But but interestingly, the lumberyard is built in a forest. And that's a nice bit of adaptability right there. I'm going to assume that was the intent. We'll find out, no doubt, if we visit some other structures. There's also a forest fire, which we really need to keep an eye on, because global warming is a nightmare. Oh wow, that's a different quarry. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going. On one hand, I'm like, that's kind of neat. On the other hand, I'm like, know when to stop. But hey, look at that. It's also building, again, different structures based on the biome. These are quite impressive, actually. I mean, they're templated, but very impressive. It's very cool. Right, let's have a little nosy around. Let's go and check out some of the other locations we could be going to. So let's check out the swamp. So that's here, I believe. This is the swamp. It is. So yeah, clearly the system is paying attention to the materials, because we're getting these types of buildings on sand, and then we're getting these types of buildings in like forest land and the like. And we're getting the bigger houses again. They always seem to be getting... The placement of them is generally pretty good, I'm finding. Get out of the way, tree. I'm waiting to see if I can find an example where it's like placed unevenly, or... But it seems like they just find a right amount of space to carve out and then place it down. That's generally pretty good. Quite pleased or impressed by that in general. Alright. I think that's it. It's just what we saw there. Alrighty. Cool. Let's head out to the next location, which is... I think it's the coastal map. 12,700. 200, 200. Okay, so we got... Excuse me. Oh, tired. It's been a long weekend. He says, spending most of it working. Whee! So again, yeah, it's respecting the material on the land when it builds specific objects. Having that there on either side of the opening of the river, the mouth of the river, is actually quite cool looking. I don't think that was intentional, but I think it's very cool. So yeah, you've got this here, and then meanwhile there's a hut here. So it's funny because these things are so close to each other, it comes across as a little confusing, I guess, because it's like, oh hey, hang on a minute, why are these two things so close? The church on the hill is quite neat, but then interestingly, why would you build a quarry next to a church? That seems a little hasty. I mean, it is very cool. Just gonna sit here and punch everything. All right. Head off to the next location. I think this is the mountain ridge area with steep slopes. It is indeed. I was going to say, I don't imagine it builds a lot of the churches or quarries here, because there won't be a lot of flat or areas of similar-ish terrain to do it in. But it is building the houses along the hilltop, and it's pathing everything, so the adaptability of it, I think, is really good so far. And it's really taken me by surprise. And that looks very aesthetically pleasing to me. Yeah, I'm quite digging that. Did it build anything on the top of the mountain? No, it did not. Well, a couple of houses. All right, did it build any of the churches? I feel like I now need to find one. Because it feels like the top of the mountains might have been like prime, a prime location for that sort of thing. Scarecrows. Potato. I unlocked a potato recipe. Clearly, I just installed this Minecraft for the purposes of this particular stream. All right, doesn't look like it. So it's interesting to see that it had all these. It's got all these templates, and it seems to be figuring out when to use them. And certain, I think, it's going to be dependent on the locale that it's given. But I feel like this is a really good example of this particular biome, like, panning out. I think this looks really good when you see it in practice, which I think is kind of neat. Alrighty. Let's move to another location. Where am I going? Oh, no. And this is the small island. So yeah, I think, like, funnily enough, the small island highlights one of the interesting things about this generator that I just said about it's recognizing material types. Ooh, excuse me, and then using that to influence its building. But then I do think, on one hand, that's kind of neat. On the other hand, particularly on this island, given it's so small, you would think maybe it would retain... Because there, look at that, it's actually put concrete down. I think it's put concrete down just so it can place these buildings the way they're supposed to. And it's like, well, if the vast majority of the town was built with wood and concrete, then maybe you build all of it, because I feel like it then creates this interesting juxtaposition between them. But nonetheless, I still think it is also very good. I'm just going to eat some potato while I'm here. Because, you know, why not? Can I feed the turtle with some potato? How do I? Oh no, I've collected the sand. No, I hit you with a potato. I'm so sorry. All right. Okay, let's make some notes on that. Also, the funny thing is that as you start doing this, you begin to adjust all the older scores that you made. Because then you're like, well, if I'm scoring this number out of 10, then, you know, relatively, should that have been as high or should it have been as low? I don't know. Right, there we go. We'll see how many more of these we can do in an evening. Bear with me, and then we'll get back in with another map. All right. Let me know in the comments, in the chat, what's the ones that you've enjoyed the most so far. I'm reserving judgment. I'm not going to say which ones are my favourite so far, because that kind of defeats the purpose. But I'm curious to see what you all think based on what you've seen thus far. Also, I imagine there's a little bit of bias because I think some of the folks watching are also some of the folks that participated in the competition itself. So, yeah. Let's see. Where was I? Niels says the last one by far so far has been their favourite. So that was number 3. Let me see, let's go to number 4. Don't kill the music. It was just getting good. Ooh. Oh. Well. Okay. Okay. What have I walked into? What is this? Oh my lord. What the fuck? Jesus. What? What is this? This is insane. So there's nothing down here. Okay. I'm so confused right now as to what I'm looking at. Okay, where is it? The Great Wall of Minecraft. Number 4 might take the cake, though. You think? Like, this is just bonkers. It's distinct, I'll give it that. And it doesn't seem to end either. Like, what am I looking at? So they've made giant statues of the Minecraft dude. And then one of those things. And then super swish looking apartment buildings. Alright, let's go in and have a look. Nope. It's all bunk beds and the like. With a little reading lamp, that's cute. And then I'm assuming it's just 2 floors of that, okay. Right, hang on. I saw a giant tower with GDMC 2023 on it. What the what is this place? I am so confused. Oh. Whee! This is just very bizarre. What the hell? I feel like I'm trapped in a Doom map at this point. Waiting for like an imp to spawn out a portal on the wall or something. Yeah, there it is. This is nuts. Like, so, I'd like to think that this system is going to adapt well to the other bits of topography that we see on the other maps. Like, this is just bananas. Like, it's doing a lot of little things. Creating paths, putting out torches. Is there anything in the cave? I've been told to keep an eye on caves. And see if anyone does anything with caves. It's just... I feel like I'm trapped in a really weird... Oh my god, there's another wall. Hang on, so is it built an entire... Oh, that's a path. Is that so it can get from... Where's the path go? Well, the path just randomly ends. So hang on, is this entire, like, wall square? Let's find out. Yep, there we go. We're finding the corners. It's cool that the wall kind of respects water. Oh geez, there's the original area. Oh, and it's built around it. So it has adapted. I'll give it that. Oh, Christoph comes in just as I have found the Great Wall of, I think this is settlement generator number 4. But yeah, this is a bit bananas. Oh, whoops, I just realised my chat filter is pointed the wrong way. But yes, hello, if you're not familiar. Christoph, who's in the chat right now, is one of the organisers who we introduced at the beginning of the stream. This is bananas. You should rewind, Christoph, and go back to about 3 or 4 minutes ago and catch me as I see this for the first time. My poor little brain was just really struggling with it. Okay, so let's see how well this generator adapts. So let's go to the swamp. So by the time we finish this stream, I'm going to remember all the coordinates. Let's have a look. Walls are in fashion now. Oh my god, it's done the... Okay, so I was curious, does it do the same thing? So I feel like when we saw the 1000 by 1000 map, we're seeing this whole thing on acid, whereas there are smaller versions of this that it's building. And there is, like, you know, it's building paths across the water, which is kind of neat. Okay. And it's still got this big GDMC 2023 tower, which and the wall. I mean, walls were in vogue a couple of years ago. I remember one of the most impressive ones was like a fort, and it had walls. But yeah, it's a really nice way to like carve up the space. The statues are a bit much, mind you. Okay, cool. So let's see how it handles. Is it... Oh, this is the coastal map next. Okay. Oh, hello. I didn't notice that before. An actual stairwell to get onto the wall. There might have been one on the other maps, but I didn't see it. Do, do, do. Getting real Attack on Titan vibes here. Waiting for a giant creeper to come and attack now. So yeah, I guess this comes under the scoring for the GDMC. Like, would this protect against a critter mob? Well, yeah, unless they learned how to swim. Oh, that's neat. That like the corner there, because it's keeping it open for water, but critically, it needs to have a corner pillar, and so it's put that in. That's interesting. Digging that a lot. I think once it operates in a smaller space, it seems to be a bit more I think a lot of the design decisions feel like they make a bit more sense in context when everyone's when everything's together in the same space. In a smaller space rather. Eggs. But yes, it's like, you know, we bow to the shrine of the GDMC 2023. So bizarre. Throw eggs at it. Ah, free chickens. Okay. This whole thing is so weird. Oh, the high mountain ridge. Let's go and visit that and see how this comes out. Time. Did it still build the wall? I think it did. Okay. And it's interesting because it seems as if the elevation is always higher than the like highest structure. Because look at that. That's redonkulous height. Is the GDMC tower always in the middle? That would explain a lot. Pathing out from that central point. Oh, this whole thing's just bonkers. Big settlement energy, for sure. Wow. Okay. Alrighty. I like, you kind of know what you're getting with this generator every time. Just the first time you see it, it's like, what the fuck? A small, oh god, the small island with lots of water. Let's, oh no, that's not this one. TP 1500, 200. Alrighty. Oh! Oh, look at that. Oh, that's interesting, because it's not as high as the highest point. But that perimeter wall, as it is quite in terms of aesthetic, that's very interesting. It's very cool looking, but also I don't think this is functional. How the hell do you get onto this building? Did it actually build a stairwell anywhere? Well, there's a path to it. Oh, there's a stairwell. Okay, so you need to get a boat. You get a boat. From here. Or you just swim to work. One of the two. Christoph says the G in GDMC is for giant. It's giant design in Minecraft. Yeah, this is... You know, funnily enough, the smallest version of this, the island version of this, I think is the coolest version. Because I find the whole thing quite visually interesting. It's certainly got an aesthetic. Out of them all so far, this is definitely the one with a particular vibe. Particular vibe going on. I'm very confused by this entire generator. But it's clear that whoever made it has not only... They've put a lot of... There's effort in path generation, in actually building settlements, in having... But also, clearly they're having fun. You know, they're making key structures. And I'll steal the money that's... Or the gold that's in the... I think it's stained glass or something, maybe. Gonna punch a hole in it. But, yeah, okay. Very weird, but very cool. It does seem to adapt reasonably well, too. That was the thing that's actually quite surprising about this one is, how do I score this one for narrative? Like, what is the story here? Like, a bunch of social media influencers got trapped on an island and decided to make GDMC maps? I mean, and they built the wall around them? Is the wall keeping people out? Or is it keeping them in? It's just these GDMC fanatics. Either way, it's got me thinking. But what in the fuck? Big aesthetic score. This thing has got vibes, for sure. This is kind of the funny thing with this particular generator is like there's actually a lot of little things it's doing really well, but you kind of almost miss it just because of the insanity of what you're looking at. Oh, good lord. Oh, I need a minute after that. Hang on, let's just take a minute. Oh, just recover slightly. From that one, because that was... that was particular. Oh no, what have I done? I accidentally broke something in the stream setup. Bear with me while I go and fix it. Where was it? I think it was over here. There we go. Let's put the music back on for a bit. While I recover from the experience that was that last settlement. Good lord. This stream not sponsored by Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Iron Brew. But you know, Christoph says sorry to put you through all this. I mean, I you know, I still do this to myself, man. This is still on me. You know, should say no to academic labour, but at the same time, I am. However, I don't think we'll get through all of these tonight. I'll probably do the rest of them off camera, sadly, because the next couple of days for me are a little hectic. But I wanted to at least carve out a little bit of time for me to have a look at the GDMC, and also just for everyone to see it a little bit. There's a handful of you that are watching the stream now, but of course the stream will be archived. Everyone can sit and watch it on their Monday mornings and what have you. And then let me start finding the next map. I can't imagine anything being more bonkers than that one, I have to be honest. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but am I? I don't know. But yeah, that was something. Okay, let's get into this. Is number 5 of the ones that were provided. Oh, Very. Oh, that's a vibe. Oh, we've spawned on the little island, I think. Okay. These are all like kind of little hut houses with gardens by the look of it. Ah, it's very wet. Let's get inside. Oh no! That's not functional. Clearly you've never lived in a wet country. Alright, just close the door and sit over here. Stay away from the rain that way. Alright. Let me go and find my let me go and find my coordinates. And we'll get into it. So the 1000 by 1000 map will start there. Oh. Oh, there we go. We're on top of the observation balloon. So remember, this is all about how well it adapts to an existing structure that's already been placed. Doesn't look like it did much, if anything, by the look of it. No, I'm not seeing... Oh, hello. Is that just a random boat? It's a random boat. Yeah, it doesn't look like it spawned anything else out here. Okie doke. Double check the cave. I was told to check the caves. Nothing in the cave. Definitely nothing in the caves. Right. Let's go to the swamp. No. It seems to have maybe this generator suffered the same fate as the lightning. Just started a forest fire. Hopefully the rain puts it out. I think like this generator seems to have suffered the same fate as the one that we had a little while ago where it struggled. Oh, there we go. There we go. To find areas to start spawning and placing things. So it's got a few... Oh, that one appears to have had difficulty placing itself. Oh, sorry, I punched your building. Okay, and then we got a few... Oh, it's just built them out here in a line. Get anything else? Because it's interesting it managed to build something that far away from the origin point. But no, not seeing anything else. Okay, let's head to the next area. Let's see, that's the coastal map. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's very cute. Ah, so it seems to do a good job of recognizing flat terrain and sticking to the flat terrain, which seems pretty good. That's pretty neat. So very steep topography here. It doesn't spawn anything on, but then it notices, oh, we've got a little flat bit here. It doesn't make much effort to put paths or anything like that. It's just focusing on putting structures down. But okay, okay. You had a prime opportunity here to put something in a cave. You did not. Okie dokie. Alright. Get much more a chill vibe compared to the last one. That's for sure. After that last generator, which was particularly crazy. This feels much more low-key by comparison. Okay, let's head to... So that was the coastal map. The high mountain ridge. Is it going to spawn anything here? Because we just noticed that it's very reluctant to spawn anything on topography of a certain verticality. So for this, it might actually not. Oh yeah, there we go. We're finding a handful pockets of stuff. So it's playing it safe, this generator. It doesn't like to spawn anything in areas where it could be an issue. Ooh, hang on. Ow, I thought it was something had been spawned in here, but it's... Thought for a second maybe it had spawned something in the cave, but it didn't. Okay. And we already saw it on the small coastal map. So yeah, okay. Gonna make some notes here. It plays it very safe with adaptability, I think. Which is both a strength and a weakness of it, I think. But I'm digging the aesthetic vibe that I'm getting off of it nonetheless. Make a note of which generator this is. You know, I miss having like 3 monitors. I really wish I hadn't got rid of my 3rd monitor now. Okay, let's have a quick look. Whew, how long have we been doing this now? An hour, just over an hour and a half. All right, we're getting there. I'll probably do this for another hour or so and then call it for the day. But I think we can easily get another 2 or 3 gens, and then there's maybe only 2 or 3 more to do. All right. I'm on number... Stairs at spreadsheet 6. Let's have a look at number 6. Ooh. Oh, okay, that's a fortress. That is a fortress. That's big vibes right there. Let's see it during the day. Well, that's very neat. So it's got an entrance. And then there's actual buildings inside. Let's clear the weather. Stop raining. There we go. Even Minecraft listens to me. Oh, that's up. Can I not get in because there's a bookcase in the way? Okay, little houses. Jeez, that's loud. Big aesthetic vibes. Sorry, I just need to smash this in order to get out. Oh, okay, so the door is being placed differently on each. Let's put some wheat seeds and some brown mushroom in there. Oh, there's a cooked salmon. It's got a very particular vibe to it. What's that? A detector rail. So interestingly, it's spawning a lot of buildings, but it seems as if there's no consistency. I mean, are the... Actually, so, yeah, hang on. Are the buildings being procedurally... Is the interiors being procedurally generated? Because, like, there's a bit of consistency, but also not. Bits of it are templated, maybe, and then others, like finding cooked salmon. Okay. Because most of the time we ever see Minecraft settlements in the GDMC, the buildings tend to be templated entirely. But here we're actually seeing a lot of variation in the interiors, to the point that sometimes they don't quite make sense. And then, are those meant to be fully connected structures, or... No, it doesn't even look like I can find a way in. Oh no, there we go, there's a door. Okay. I can't get into these buildings. Let's see if there's a door somewhere, in which case that would actually suggest a lot about... Oh, there's literally an entrance here that lets me get in that one and that one. There we go. But there... yeah, I think these are being... Yeah, I think these are being procedurally generated, which is very neat. And clearly a challenge in and of itself. Which we haven't really seen a lot of that up until now. No. Let me in. No. Okay. Right, let's go to the master map. The big 1000 by 1000. That's very cool. On a first pass. Oh, and there's also buildings on the exterior as well. Okay. Okay. Let's head to the... Like, as vibes go, this one is... It's a kind of almost, I don't want to say... kind of Asian vibe to that, in terms of its orchestration and, like, these smaller houses and the kind of the huts. I don't know, it's very neat. It's very neat. Let's see what this thing's like when we get to the big, massive map. So it's 450... 158 626. And so, of course, remember, this is the one with the existing structure already in it. And does it build around it? Oh. Doesn't appear like it did. Okay. Interesting. Oh, hang on. Set the time back to morning. Also need to... Nah, it doesn't look like it spawned anything here. Okay, that's fine. Why is it constantly raining? Stop raining. I mean, good lord. Can take the boy out of Scotland. But it's still pissing it down. Nope. Okay. Let's head off to the swamp. 12,700, 200, 5,000. Okay, there we go. It has built. Ah, so here we go. It's having a little bit of difficulty with the perimeter wall going around the swamp itself, because this is all... But it's built on the swamp, which is cool. So it's laid out a lot more concrete. To be fair, that looks neat. I really like that. Like almost like they're stepping stones that allow you to get from one side to the other. And you can imagine the kids just constantly running across it, and the parents like, "Oh my god, no, why are you doing this? You're going to slip and break your neck, you jumped up little shit." Sorry, pardon my French. Interestingly, the perimeter wall doing a really good job in some areas to handle the terrain. Like, that's really neat. And then other parts. So yeah, it does a really good job there of going around. And then here, because it's water, it kind of stops rather than like that insane one from not that long ago where it just built this massive bridge right across all the water. But I like that it's trying, and it's making sure that for the vast majority of the buildings are within the walls, which is also kind of neat. But like, as I don't know, like a fishing village or something, this has kind of got a kind of cool vibe to it. You can imagine boats and people like fishing in the water here, but then this is all like, I don't know, even like some of it could be rice fields or something like that. I don't know. But no, again, you know, it's got a very particular vibe to it. I quite like this one so far. When it works, I think. Okay. Let's see. So this is the coastal map. Oh. Oh. Oh, so that's interesting. So it's built the perimeter wall here, and then it has this big gap, and then it restarts the perimeter wall here. And it comes up and round. And it's interesting because it looks like it built across there. And then on the highland. But again, it's visually quite striking, I think. Let's just, if I just sit right about here. I mean, look at that. That's kind of neat. Getting, I don't know, reminds me a little of places in Scotland like Stirling, for example, which is all built on a massive hill. Which I'll be out Stirling Way next weekend. I'm back in Scotland because I'm going to a wedding next week. Another wedding. So many people getting married this year. But yeah, like that's really interesting. Okay. So I think we've kind of figured out the theme of this. It's just how well it adapts to different terrain types. So that was the coastal map. So this next up is the high mountain ridge. Oh, excuse me. Long weekend. Wow, that's very cool. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to do pathing, this generator. What it focuses on is just making sure that there's always like concrete or stone placed at all times, and that becomes the pathing. But interestingly, so it's carved through a lot of this. Look at that. It's really carved through a lot of the mountain space in order to place all the housing. It's literally cut off the whole mountaintop there. But then look at this. This is kind of interesting, looking at how the walls have bunched into one area. The walls are doing surprisingly well in being placed in and around that space. Oh, for goodness sake. The weather's now getting in the way and I can't see. Stop it snowing, please. It's kind of... Oh, wow. It actually continues to build all the way down there. That's cool. That is cool. But yeah, you can see, interestingly, like where it... Like those big columns are actually like parts of the original mountain that haven't been replaced, I think. And so it's sort of, you can see bits that it's almost like it's carved itself out the rock, and then it's just left these big spires, which it's an interesting aesthetic choice, certainly. It's kind of neat. And then we've already looked at the last one, which is the water. Small island with the water. So I'm gonna Like critically, even on the elevation, I think it is worth saying, it seems to have done well on like placing buildings. Look at all the additional brickwork. That's really well done. Look at that. It's built all these additional brickwork. It's like, yeah. That's the entrance to the building. And here's okay. But then any area where it's clear that there wasn't enough underneath it, it's built the brickwork. That's a really, that in terms of adaptability, I think that's really, really positive. Look at that. So like again, it's like you actually think about the wall as the most striking feature, which even from adaptability, that's pretty cool. But those buildings are being placed really well. And it looks like it's been, you know, humans have came along and really tore up a lot of this mountain for their own purposes in interesting ways. So I think that speaks a lot to its adaptability of this particular generator. So let me make some scores. Ooh, excuse me. It's got big aesthetic vibes. I'm kind of digging it. It's definitely coming in as one of my higher rated generators thus far, I believe. All right, cool. Yeah, that's very interesting, this one. Okay, quick break. Let's take a quick break. I only have 5 more to do. That's not bad. But then I have been streaming for 2 hours. What is it? 7 o'clock. Okay, that's good. I still have time. I'm picking up my darling partner later on. So I need to be finished at least a certain point so that they can be retrieved. But I think we're well on track to do it. So it's all good. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying this already so far. Like definitely very different output compared to even last year, or not last year. I can't really comment on last year because I didn't judge last year, but certainly like the last time I judged it a couple of years ago, like we're seeing a lot of different stuff. I think the adaptability of some of these is improved. And I think that's quite impressive. I think it's always going to be one of the bigger challenges, I think, of the GDMC is getting the getting that adaptability and building, because you can see some of the generators are doing really well and then others less so in handling the variation. And so it's interesting because I think quite a few of them, the particular aesthetic or style they're going for requires them to play it a little safer. So it's like, if I can't guarantee I'm going to get it to fit, I'm just not going to bother. So, okay. Whereas others, they're willing to take a gamble. And I think that last one did a really good job of sort of capturing. It had enough base rules in it to ensure, oh, we're going to build something on the side of this mountain, or, you know, how do we account for water and things like that. And even the outside rock faces and the walls, rather. I think we're doing an interesting job there. Okay, so I'm on number 7 now. Let's have a quick look. Okay, number 7. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, this one's dug a hole in the ground. Wasn't there one that did that a couple of years ago when I was doing this? There was one that made like a particular hole in the ground, I think, which was kind of interesting. Oh, let me just... double check how this is going. Oh, there's a... Okay, Right, sorry, just double checking something there. Thought something had broken. It did not, we're good. Windmills! Because nothing quite says Minecraft GDMC like a windmill. Why can't I come out of my invincible flying mode? Never mind. Rogue bricks in the air. What is going on down here? Ooh! Hmm. Did I break something? I think I broke something. How did that happen? I've set some sort of mode here where I'm just clipping through everything now, and I don't know how I've done it. Hang on. Right. Let's just jump back out and briefly kill Minecraft and restart it. Or hang on, is this one of the maps that was built in... Oh, maybe this is one of the maps that was built. So, critically, it's noted that they're supposed to build... I think in 1.19.2, but apparently a couple of them had built in 1.19.3, so there's a chance that this might be the wrong one. Or it might be, it's one of the ones that's built in the wrong version. So let's get back in. It's reloading Minecraft. Come on, come on, come on. Alright. We're back. Except my stream thingy isn't finding Minecraft. Why not? There we go. No, this was built in... Never mind. If it doesn't work, if it's provided I can still fly through it, that's the important thing, right? Okay, so this one's just got the giant hole in the ground, and then it had these two here. Let's go to the main location. Where is it again? 450. 158. 626. Oh, the map's in spectator mode. Thanks, Niels. Set game mode. Doesn't seem to like that. Ah yeah, game mode. Survival. Nope, that doesn't seem to have fixed the problem, actually. Well, now I'm dead. Game mode... Creative? Ah. There we go. Ah, creative. That was the mode I was looking for. There we go. Thanks for that, Niels. That's why I'm clipping through everything. Noted. So hang on a minute. Where am I? Did I teleport to the right place on the map? Okay, that's interesting. Hang on, let me try teleporting again to the right place. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Oh, there we go. Oh, so this might be the one that was in the... Because it is a little bit skew-if. Okay, so it's building houses just along, and critically it's solving the adaptability part by just putting whole chunks of rock underneath. How far is this building out? Okay. It's just going and going and going and going and going. Interesting. Yeah, oh, just make a note in the chat. Going and going and going. Actually, I've just noticed that the stream delay is actually like way longer than I expected it to be, frankly. Like the latency, I think I may need to have lower latency on the stream, because right now it seems like y'all are keeping up with me like 2 or 3 minutes in the past, which ain't cool. Yep, it's got a thing about carving holes in the ground. Whee! And I'm burning. This is my penance for being a judge. And it's got a stairwell all the way out, which is kind of funny. Anyway. Okay. So yeah, this has got a very particular... There was another generator that did this a couple of years ago. It had a particular aesthetic feature, which was dig a giant hole. Because it was always like they were mining, and so it was digging like a hole in the environment or what have you. But yeah, this just seems to keep going and going. It's building paths between locations. There's different types of buildings. It's sort of solving the adaptability problem by just straight up putting large like chunks of stone down. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Bridges across the water, which is kind of neat. No, it doesn't appear there's anything more in the big hole, but okay. I mean, this is kind of neat. It's kind of skipping or bypassing a lot of the adaptability concerns. It's just like, oh, hang on a minute, like the ground underneath this isn't flat. I know what I'm going to do. It just sticks a huge chunk of stone down. But, like, hey, that you do you know, no judgment. I know full well how difficult it is to generate anything for this competition. Okay, let's have a look at the swamp. Again, there's a giant hole. Oh, they actually built a bridge over the giant hole this time. Every time there's nothing in the giant hole. They just build a giant hole. There's metal, though. Oh! There was something in the giant hole. There's a temple. Or something. That's neat. There is something in the giant hole. And that was me thinking there wasn't. There's treasure! It's a mine! And there's a bat! Away with you, bat. Okay. After me saying there was nothing in the big hole, I have been corrected. I'm going to hit you with my iron ingot. Heard a ting. He's too fast. Okay, that is quite cool, now that I've discovered there is actually something in the giant hole. But, yeah. Interesting. And again, it likes to spawn its windmills periodically, and they seem to be always on the extremity of the town. Oh, what the heck's over there? Nothing. Oh, excuse me. Right. Next up is the coastal map. Windmill, houses, padding, giant hole in the ground. Okay, so at least this time it generates what's in the ground a little bit differently each time. That's kind of interesting. Getting lots of gold and other valuable items here. Okay, and then... So that was the coastal, the ridge, the high mountain ridge. Oh, no. Oh, excuse me. Let's have a look. So it seems quite minimalist. It's funny, after the original one where it seemed to build lots of stuff, it's often been quite minimalist. Housing. Big hole in the ground? No, I think that hole was already there. It's building paths. It's solving the adaptability issue. There's bound to be a windmill somewhere. And possibly a giant hole in the ground. I think that's the giant hole in the ground. Good lord, that's a giant hole. Oh wow, that's quite neat. It actually managed to build that far down into the mountain. And then I'm assuming there's still... Yeah. I mean, that's a heck of a view. That's quite neat to come down and see that far down. No sign of a windmill, though. Maybe it just didn't want one this time around. And we saw this on the small island, did we not? Or am I making that up? No, yeah, we did. Okay, cool. Right. Y'all can admire that view there while I am making some scores. I like how, so there's a bit on the marking sheet, optional notes. And right now I'm just trying to make optional notes just so I can remind myself what I was looking at. So when I go back and look at my marks again. And I'm just writing like one word because it's like a feature or something that's specific to that particular map that I'm like, oh wow, okay, that's interesting. So yes, hello, Waris, who's just joined us in the chat there. Enjoy the roughly 3-minute delay for some reason that exists on this stream. I really need to fix that latency issue. Also, we're close to finishing a can of Iron Brew. But it's fine, because that was the sugar-free can. Now we're really getting into the hardcore vibes. Full sugar. Because clearly I'm yawning, I need it. Oh, good sounds. Waris is from Pakistan. Amazing. Hope you're doing well. Hello to you and yours over in Pakistan. That's awesome. Right, we have 4 more to do. Let's see if I can get through these. And we'd be finished by 8 p.m. And then, also, if you're in Pakistan, you're up quite late. Good for you. I say this purely because I was doing some game development for a studio not that long ago, and I was actually working with a developer who was based in Pakistan, and so always interesting trying to catch up with them and like having meetings and everything else and kind of chatting with them and sort of also just trying to acknowledge time difference and everything else, because sometimes we'd set meetings and then it's that doesn't really suit them, we need to readjust or whatever else. Anyway, we're on number 8. Let's have a look. Oh, so it's 9 and 11 that have been built in the wrong version. Let's have a look. Fresh reactions as they happen. Ooh. Ooh. That's neat. It's got a temple vibe. And then a path. Where's that going? It's tried to path out to find somewhere to connect to, but it hasn't found anything because it's right on the coast. Ah, that's really interesting. Wow, okay. All right, let's head over to the main 1000 by 1000 map. So it says we're on number 8 of 11. Doesn't look like it built anything that... Oh, nope, I stand corrected. Holy bejingles, look at that. What was that even, that sentence? That looks amazing. That's very cool. Okay. It doesn't really seem to have any... Oh, there's like paths here. Where's the path going? Does it connect to something? No. Yeah, I've just noticed the stream delay is getting longer and longer. I don't know how that happened. All right. Let's head out to Swamp. So this generator seems to be predicated on building a temple and paths that connect to the temple. It doesn't appear to have anything else in that regard, because the paths don't really seem to connect to anything else. But in itself, the fact that you have this random like temple structure in the middle of nowhere, a citadel even, is kind of neat. And I kind of like that you'll note that every time it's not the same. It's not the same style to the structure or anything like that. So I think it's kind of interesting to see these differences each and every time it runs, which is kind of exciting. Okay. So I already know what my one word is to describe this one. Coastal map next. Oh, so it seems to behave differently when it recognizes. Is that just because it's a coastal structure, or... And also, I've noticed how the materials are changing a little as well. Okay, that's kind of cool. I do like that it's never generated the same structure twice. And so I think that's kind of neat. Getting, like... It's kind of this... I don't know, on one hand, I'm getting, like, sort of East Asian, like, temple structures in my mind, but also I'm thinking, like, the city of Gondor in, like, Lord of the Rings, which is kind of awesome. Anyway, what was I going to go to next? The High Mountain Ridge. Right. Does it build all the way out here? Because it seems to adapt every time. That it there? No, that's a tree. Where'd my music go, man? So interestingly, I don't think this thing's going to spawn because of the elevation. That's a big tree. I wonder if I have to travel farther and farther out to find it. Oh, wow, there it is. And that seems to have largely placed itself into the... There's trees on it in a couple of spots, but it's kind of just like plunked itself in. Because this was probably the one area that it was actually okay for it to drop into. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I don't know what the functionality of the structure is, because I'm not entirely sure what this structure is, to be honest. But it's cool. It's got a... definitely got an aesthetic vibe. Trying to remember. There we go. Make a note of that. That's cool. Alrighty. Nope. Let's go back. I got 3 more to do, I think. Yeah, let's just keep on pushing. Play me more music, come on. This is number 9. So 9 is in 119.3, which I was warned about, that some of them are not in the right level or version, but they should be okay. Let's see how it pans out. Okay. That's... what is that, Swiss? Or English? Alright, okay, that's quite picturesque. Did you do anything in the cave? I've been told to look in the caves. Alas, no. Okay. Nice looking little cottages. We got some pathing between them. That's kind of neat. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, let's head to the big map. And then see how well it's done with the, has it built anything near this structure which already was built? It's currently looking like no. Oh no, wait, there we go. Oh no, hang on, is that the structure I was just looking at? It was. Right, so it built over here. Okay, interesting. Let's move on then to the swamp. Let me just double check something on my end. Okay, that's kind of neat. So there's a bit of padding. The adaptability is not bad. It kind of looks like it just carves a hole in the space, or it places a bunch of ground sufficiently in order to allow for the buildings to go down. There's always this main structure right here, which... No, door won't open. Fine. Sorry, mate. I'm just gonna punch my way through your doors. Is there anything in this bit I'm just not finding the way into? I'm so sorry. You procedurally generated all this lovely place and I'm just punching my way through it. Let me out! There we go. And then these all look templated in terms of the... I mean, they look nice. They're quite nice looking. Oh, it's got a little upgrade area and then storage of foods. And then up here a wee bed and... Cool. Okay. They're quite pleasing to look at. Alright, so let's have a look at... so next up's the coastal map. I know it's minus 12,700. 200, 200. Okay, so it always seems to have the same kind of core structure of there's the house, or that main building there with the flag, and then it builds other houses around it, which is kind of neat. A little bit of pathing going on. Like, this one I feel plays it a little safe, but also at the same time it's quite satisfying to look at. I think quite aesthetically pleasing, certainly. Let's have a quick look at the mountain ridge. Clear the weather. I think I've typed in the coordinates wrong there, haven't I? I did. It's minus 5,300, 200, 2,400. There we go. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about, the adaptability. This one's playing it safe. Again, like many of the others, it's sort of huge chunk of ground underneath. That way it definitely fits. It means placing paths up to certain houses is going to be difficult, but, you know. I kind of like that one, that random one single house here. It's just like, we're just going to straight up just carve a huge chunk out of the mountain, because I want to put my house here. Which, okay. Interesting. And did we look at the tiny island? I can't remember. Oh, no, there's the tiny island. The tiny island is sort of like the perfect version, I think, of this. It's all nicely pathed and connected together, and what have you. Okay. Like, that's a cute generator, I think. Quite a cute generator. Make a note as to which house that was, so I can remember it for later. Okay, bear with me a second. Got a quick text message to send to my partner. Right, we have 2 more to do. So let's get into it. This is us on submission 10 of 11. Yep. Here we go. Clear the weather. And then I'm just going to, you know what, I'm just going to teleport straight to the 1000 by 1000 map and then have a look at it from there. Actually, in hindsight, that was probably not a good move because a lot of the generators are actually hard to judge. Oh, it's built a lot of paths. Look at that. And then churches or chapels or... Look at that kind of membrane. I think this is a paths first generator. This is a generator that makes paths first and then buildings second. Something strangely appealing about looking at... Oh, look at that. That looks like it's a school or something. That's kind of a cool looking building. That's very neat. Pigs. Oh wow, this is like an actual... Get away. Oh, there are entrances. Behold the magnificent farm. It's a haven for all the greats of our civilization. And now we have heard of it. Okay. Prepare to be amazed by the farm. With its dispersed farm and abundant pasture, it can be an ideal place to grow tomatoes from seeds or clones. Behold the magnificent farm. Okay, I like that it's kind of tutorializing a little bit. Was there a switch on outside that building that was like, yo, this is what this is, and I missed it or something? Oh, hang on, what's that right there? The villager house. From the well, you can dig a hole or dig a shaft to find a hidden chest. You'll find an item called the golden key. Now, if you're in bed, a wardrobe, or a bedroll, the villager house requires level 35 villager and level 40 built house. It's weird. The pads look like Voronoi cells. Indeed, I was kind of thinking something along those lines myself. Is there anything outside this structure? The enchantment of the church and experience the wonders of a sacred place. I like that they've got these little tutorializations of the environment. That's kind of neat. Oh, mild adaptability problem there. All of you people should go back there. It's a place where you worship. Alright. As godless heathens. Did it do anything over here, or is it just left this completely untouched? Okay. Let's go to the swamp. So it seems to do a good job of the pathing, or at least getting things pathed to one another. And then it places them. So it always seems to place a lot of these churches next to each other, and then there's the houses. There was a random farm out there on its own. And it's having to work around the swamp, I guess. So it's kept some of it fairly close together. Okay. And then if we go to... where am I going next? Coastal map. So hang on, what building's that? We've not seen this one before, have we? Where's my tutorial text? I don't think this is a church. Interesting. Okay. Oh, there's a... Again, it's doing the pathing all right. Farmland. Churches. A lot of churches. These people are very afraid of their gods. A lot of that going on. What's up, buddy? I hear you. It's wet. Do you want to come in? Oh, it's a bakery. Oh, wow. 3 pigs having a fight. The high mountain ridge. Okay. Oh, no. $200, $2,400. Oh, there we go. Alan Zaccone joins us. Hey, Alan, how you doing? You're here just as we're on number 10 of 11 of our Minecraft settlements that we're assessing. I don't think there are any generated. Oh, there we go. Right there on the ground. So yeah, this one is very unwilling to deal with high verticality on the terrains. So yeah, it seems like I'll just reply back to Alan in the text as in the chat as well. But yeah, this one seems to not be a fan of verticality. Oh, cave. Obligatory check in the cave. Anything in the cave? Come on. Nothing in the cave. I don't think anyone's going to score bonus points for caves. Last one, the small island location. So let's go there. So this is usually where a lot of generators do really well, because it's such a focused area that they get all their key features in one very small space. Interestingly, the pathing isn't as strong on this one. All the other maps, they've placed a lot of emphasis on pathing between or like building structures, etc. This seems to be the one map where the pathing isn't that strong between locations. Interesting. Okay. Right. Interesting stuff. Okay, we have one more to go. Let's quickly just jump back in for a second while I make some notes. Functionality. Well, if you're going to pray to your gods, these people have you covered, that's for sure. I think this one maybe gets bonus narrative score because they've got the little tutorializations in the maps, which I thought was interesting. Okay. We have one more map to look at. Alan says, oh, tell us more about that arcade machine behind you. Okay, well, before we get into the final generator, rather, but yes, just to quickly talk about my arcade cabinet. It's an arcade 1-up. So those are, they're Android emulators, but they come with the complete package. It's a full control set, and it's got the monitor and the light, and it all lights up and everything else, and it's very loud, and I'm very fond of it. I have had a quest since I was a young child. I have said I really, 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 really want, at some point in my life, an arcade cabinet in my room. Naturally, my partner isn't going to be too jazzed about that, but this is my office, and so, which is the spare bedroom in our house. But so, well, this is my space, and so I had to ask very nicely whether it was okay for me to have one of these. And it doesn't just play Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it plays a whole bunch of Marvel CPS2 fighting games. So it's got X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2 on it. And I love being able to just boot it up and play a few games. And just like, hey, let's play with these loadouts. And it's got the ROMs of the actual arcade games on it. Very tempted to mod it. I've already kind of looked up how to do it. Does it run Alien Isolation? Probably not. I have enough devices around here that run Alien Isolation. Anyhow. But yes, I had to earn a lot of brownie points recently in order to be allowed to have that. And I only play it like a couple of times a week. I'll boot it up and I'll have a quick 20 minutes on it. I've got time to kill. Like, oh, we're just about to go out or something. Like, oh, I'm going to go and get ready. I'm like, okay, I'll just quickly have a couple of rounds. It puts a huge smile on my face every time I see it, though. I'm like, I love it. Makes me so happy. Right. One last thingy. Let's do it. One last generator. This has also been generated in the wrong version. So, here we go. I know what I'm doing. Drum roll. Ooh. Well, that's different. Oh, okay. Oh, and this is built in the... Are those pandas? I don't think I've seen a generator. One, I don't think I've seen a generator spawn pandas. Two, I don't think I've seen a generator spawn this many pandas. Look at them all. Are you alright there, buddy? Are you okay? Pandas can swim. Confirmed. What on earth? Oh yeah, but this is going for a very particular kind of, dare I say, Chinese kind of aesthetic? Please tell me that. Is that not... That's bamboo? Okay, yep. So it's built around the existing structure. And it's built a lot around the existing structure. So they've got their own established buildings. Very fixed pathing between the pandas everywhere. Good lord. Sorry, buddy, can I... I'm sorry. I'm beginning to realize that this is a panda-based civilization. And every building has pandas in it. What in the hell? Is this because... Yeah, this is a panda civilization. People don't live here. Pandas live here. Okay. I'm getting out of your way. But yeah, very fixed kind of structure of X number of houses. It's carved out a hole in the space. You can see that in terms of the adaptability. And I think, did it built over there as well, didn't it? Let's have a look. So it builds roughly the same structure each time, it looks like. And then it builds a path in between, and then just litters the path. Geez, look at that. And then it litters the path with pandas. I mean, that's very cool. Yes, or maybe the pandas killed all the villagers, Alan. That's a very valid point. I do think... Wow, geez. At this point, there's a good chance that this is a panda uprising. Did the pandas build this themselves? Or did they get the humans to build it and then killed them? Okay, that was quite dramatically timed. So many pandas. So it looks like this has got like 2 or 3 kind of variations in the buildings it can spawn and how they're placed. And then also like each of these towns seems to have like a mega structure that it places as well. Like these big towers and what have you, which is very, very cool. It's aesthetically pretty neat. Quite digging that. Panda Uprising, indeed. That should be like, you know, go and make that game and put it on Steam. Panda Uprising. Or you can make that your AI and Games Jam game when we run our Game Jam in September. Our Game Jam's just over a month away. Oh, hello. Yeah, notice how, like I was saying, it's a very fixed area. That's how it's solving the adaptability problem. It's just, we're just going to level this off with a huge chunk of ground. Alrighty. Interesting. Let's have a look at the swamp. Oh, excuse me. Let's just stop the rain, thank you. Like, that looks very cool. Very impressive. It's a template, I'm assuming. Someone's went away and built this. And the pandas have then taken over it. There's already a game called Panda Uprising, says Alan. Alright, okay. Well, maybe not. Maybe double check for copyright infringement and all that jazz. So the pathing hasn't been as good here, but it's still building its little settlements in fixed areas. Oh, excuse me. Getting tired. So on one hand, the adaptability is good because it can build at different levels of elevation, but on the other hand, its solution is just cube of soil, and then it builds. Interesting. But visually quite striking. Let's have a look at the coastal town. Geez, we're on the last one. Yeah, look at that. It solves the problem by just putting down a... Good lord, look at that. Just cut a huge chunk out of the ground. It's like, this is how we solve this problem. Carve. I mean, at least it figures out to do that. And then this has been built here, so how much of that is this one carving through the mountain and this one placing atop it? Nothing out that way? No. Okay. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Okay. Where next? Oh, the high mountain ridge. This is going to be interesting. How much of the mountain is missing, or how much of it has it just built on top of? Oh, here we go. I was going to say, has it even built up here? Yep. Just put a huge slab of ground down. Interesting how previously it had trouble putting the water down surrounding it. So that's just been plonked down. Is there anything else up here? Or is that it? Oh, nope, here we go. Oh, it's plonked. At least it's got a bit of variation in terms of the size of the structure that it can place down by the look of it. That's interesting. But, how have we got a forest fire all the way up here? It's snowing! Stupid Minecraft generation. Speaking of, go and watch Alan's video on how Minecraft's procedural generator works. Alright, and... Oh, no, my laptop went to sleep. I've not been given it the love it needs. The small island. Oh no. Oh no, that's not the location at all. It's 1500, 200. This is usually... I mean, a lot of the original island isn't even there anymore. It's just like, nope, I'm putting all my things down. Gonna stick down a nice bit of... This is like, they've just Disneylanded this at this point. It's that we need to create an artificial structure so that we can place all our stuff. I mean, again, like, the stuff is really cool. The established templates. And it definitely creates... I mean, look at that. Like, you want to talk about aesthetic. I mean, is that not a very cool looking aesthetic? And we've got pandas doing front flips. What more could you ask for? So yeah, very interesting look overall. But I find it interesting that the adaptability is just like... I'm pretty sure that's... I wonder if this is based on... There was another one that did something similar to this a few years ago. Good lord, what's going on? And we're finished! This is the last one. We're celebrating. That scared the living bejingus out of me when I heard that there. Oh my god. Need to take my headphones off for a second while I do the... Are you... Is that a creeper doing that? Oh no, it's automated. Good lord, that's loud. Okay, where was I? Functionality. I mean, it's got strong aesthetic vibes. Okay, right. We did it. We're finished. We've actually successfully viewed all of them. I actually did all of them on stream. I wasn't sure I was going to get through all of them in one go. What's my favourite? I don't know if I've got a favourite overall. There's a couple of them that are just a bit more mental than others. Like that's another. Some of them really lean into aesthetic and really go for it, which I think helps them in many regards. Particularly, was it number 4? Aye, this one. Like, what the hell is this? Like, it's got a very particular aesthetic vibe going for it. It isn't my highest rated looking at my scores right now. It's somewhere in the middle of the table for me, I think. Actually, but no, I think I know quite clearly which one was my favourite, which I won't say on stream right now because the marks are still to go in. And I need to respect the process because marks need to be in by Wednesday, I believe. So I'll probably be doing a second pass going through all of this myself. Oh, Alan's favourite's number 4. I mean, there's a very particular, you know, it has got a very particular vibe going for it. So, you know, can't fault you for really liking the flex that is that particular one. But yeah, just as a quick reminder, if you want to have a quick look at the whole thing yourself and you want to learn a little bit more about it, I don't actually have the... Interestingly, I can't find my own video anymore. But yeah, so just as a reminder, let me actually just jump back in and make sure I pivot over to that correctly, because it will get blocked by that. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so remember generative design in Minecraft, that's gendesignmc.engineering.nyu.edu. I'll actually just copy and paste that and stick it in the chat if you're interested in having a look at this. If you want. So yeah, the submissions are in for the 2023, as it can see here. They'll announce the results this month, and then it'll be time to get back on it for 2024. They're gonna, I believe, there's no reason to suspect otherwise, that the competition will continue to run next year. Of course, if you haven't yet, go and check out my video all about, you know, the actual competition over on the main AI and Games channel. And yeah, this was me, actually, this is footage of me when I was judging the 2019 version of the competition. Oh yeah, I remember that. It did this kind of like cute old style cobbled brick wall thing going on, which I thought was kind of interesting. Man, that's going back a few years. And so yeah, if you haven't seen that, that's the link to the video. You can go and check that out. And yeah, I did it. I'm quite pleased to say. And I'm just going to close that laptop because I will come back and have a look at those scores again before I submit them in a couple of days' time. But yeah, thanks everybody for sticking it out with me, I guess, as I went and worked my way through all of these submissions. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. It's been nearly 3 hours. It took me nearly 3 hours to get through this whole thing and do the whole process. I mean, to be fair, you'll notice that the later ones took me less time. Like the first couple took me a little while just to get into the flow of it and what have you. And then once you've done a few of them, and also one of the interesting things that you didn't see, but it was off camera while I'm on the laptop, was when I grade 1, I was then using, oh, hang on, well, I want to grade this X out of 10, but then I'm going back and editing the votes of the other ones that I've already previously done, because I'm like, well, hang on, I said that was X out of 10, and then that's, you know, comparing them relatively. So the first couple are always a little harder, just so you get into the process. But yeah, that's it. We're done. And thanks to everyone for tuning in. Also, I hope you've enjoyed just listening to my ramblings. I think particularly when you saw me when I watched number 4, because number 4 was just a bit mental, and it kind of caught me off guard, I'm not going to lie. Also, thanks to Christoph for popping in earlier, just to briefly say hello. Thanks to Alan for coming in late in the game, but also to everybody else. In fact, we've had several of the entrants to the competition this year, I believe, tune in for a bit of chat. So I appreciate you coming down to hang out with me, and generally just being awesome. And so with that, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee, and I got to keep myself awake for another couple of hours till I go and collect my partner. Yeah, I look forward to hearing from the results from Christoph and the rest of the GDMC team, which will be in a couple of weeks' time. And yeah, I'll be back doing a few more. Hopefully going to be streaming a little bit more here on AI and Games Plus in the next few weeks, trying to get back into the rhythm of it. It's been a very, very hectic summer. Lots of stuff going on, but also just, we're going to do more player choice. Don't know if we're going to do it this week, but it'll probably be next week. And then we're going to have even some more stuff of me just playing a bunch of games and just hanging out and chilling. But yeah, wanted to make sure I went out the way to do this, and I was really struggling to find the time. So I'm kind of grateful I managed to carve a little bit out of my Sunday to work. But, you know, carve a bit of time out so that we could do this, because I think it is valuable, and I think it's important that we kind of continue to try and promote the GDMC, and hopefully people continue to tune in and catch this video on the archive and let us know their thoughts as well. All right, cool. Well, thanks very much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a good Sunday. Take care of yourselves, and I'll be back